Salutations, dear viewers. You're on with Nexon of the Vast Nexus, and welcome to another Fortnite video. This time a duos win with ZKA, who has collaborated with me before, and not just on Fortnite, Resident Evil 6. You should check it out on his channel. Thing is, this video will not be titled Chapter 2, Season 4, Duos Win with ZKA. It will say featuring ZKA, but it's going to be titled Broken Royale 2 Electric Boohoo. The reason for that, and it's purely coincidental, by the way, that both of the times this has happened I've been playing with ZKA, because the last Broken Royale was also featuring him. But in both games, a significant portion of the match was spent not actually playing it, so to speak. Last time we were camping in a truly hilarious form, and I'm not going to go into any greater detail of that. You should watch that video. But this time we'll be moving the whole time, and yet we'll still be sort of out of the thick of it, which, to be honest, is generally where I prefer to be. I like to play stealth. Now, this wasn't deliberate, mind you. Hiding in the hay bale was, and then it turned into an exercise of intellect about how broken Battle Royale was, that we could be where we were for so long and yet nothing would happen. But here we were trying to resolve a challenge for ZKA. He needed to visit all named locations in a single match, and no way is it easier to do that than in a chopper. Because sure, you could get a car, but then you have gasoline to contend with. You have the fact that not all the named locations are easily accessible by roads. It's a chopper or bust, and that chopper put us above the thick of it for a significant portion of the match, and the fact that we got a dub out of it literally had both of us dumbstruck with how that happened for a second time. So again, it's a win obtained ostensibly in a match where we had dropped in with the expectation that we would die, but in pursuit of the completion of a challenge. Now, I'm going to reiterate why I find Battle Royale may have been extremely popular, but is dying as a genre, because it's fundamentally flawed from the outset. And I'm going to make a quote here. Dr. Disrespect made a statement that he feels so bad for the kids of this generation who grow up thinking that Battle Royale and games like Fortnite are the pinnacle of gaming, because dear God, no. My God. And it's not just us being old farts, either. Battle Royale is often... it gets so much exposure because it's free. There's no reason not to get it. You can play it with all your friends. Woo! The thing is, it is a game that rewards passivity and camping and turtling instead of aggressive, proactive play. And why is that? And I said this in the last Broken Royale video, because your prime imperative in a Battle Royale game is to survive, which you facilitate by not dying. In an arena shooter or like a wide terrain shooter like a Battlefield game, it's about eliminating more of their guys than you yourself lose. In fact, that's also sort of the way it runs for round-based class-type games like Rainbow Six or Counter-Strike. In those games, you have to take the fight to the enemy, because you can't just sit in the same spot for 30 minutes and expect to get anywhere, because you're not doing anything. But all you have to do to win a Battle Royale is be the last one left standing. I have a video, which was boxed lag, where I very nearly won the match having killed no one. And the one person I did kill was not actually the last person left. It was someone earlier on the match, a bot that I just happened to run into. And by the way, I mean a literal bot. The way they reacted, there was no way that was a human being. But the last player just conspicuously died. They walked off a build and just sort of slammed into the ground. I don't know what happened. I assume it was lag, which is why it was called box lag, but I won very nearly killing no one. And that's the thing. People will complain that I'm being a shitter playing that way, but it's not me. the mathematics, the statistics of the game suggest that your best chance of getting the dub is to play like a shitter. I mean, that's just... It's not the play style that's the problem. The game is broken as hell. And again, I reiterate, it's not just Fortnite. This applies to all Battle Royales. They're all broken as hell because they all follow that same concept, and it does not work. Because ask yourself this, just consider it for a moment. If Fortnite Battle Royale wasn't free, if Apex Legends Battle Royale wasn't free, even Warzone, would you be playing it? Would you have dropped the $30 or the $20 or $50, whatever, to be playing it? Because I'd wager for a lot of you, the answer would probably be no. And that tells you all that you need to know right there, is that the reason these games get a pass with shit mechanics is because they're free. And it's why they keep coming out free. Because they have shit mechanics. Now, as Battle Royales have rolled off the assembly line, we see them developing an understanding of the fact that there are problems with how Battle Royales fundamentally behave, and their attempts to try to resolve that. I mean, PUBG was the daddy. It was the first Battle Royale game to sort of emerge from the mire, even though it was based on a mod for DayZ. And then Fortnite comes in as kind of a cash grab of sorts, introduces new mechanics, the whole reboot thing, I think, or was that something they retrofitted into Fortnite after Apex Legends? The point is, as we get further away from PUBG in the genealogy of Battle Royales, we discover attempts at fixing some of the fundamental problems. Apex Legends had the whole revival mechanic where you can bring your squad mates back. They had areas of... They had the ping system first, areas of exclusive loot, which means that those who triumph in areas of greater conflict will have better equipment to survive subsequently. Now, weirdly, I actually criticized that a lot because in Chapter 2, Season 2, I complained about the fact that before, if you wanted to play it safe, you could land way off in the boonies, and you were just as likely to get something as somebody who landed in a hot drop like Salty Springs, or, you know, something closer to the bus route, or a named location. But all of a sudden there was exclusive items that could only get if you were in the right place at the right time. And I was like, well, that sucks, because that encourages direct competition. Now, I'm not shy about direct competition, but I do have a problem when one screw-up and you're out completely. I mean, I'll rush like a scary, ballsy-ass MF if I know that my death is just a brief pause before I'm right back in taking revenge for it. It's another thing when it's like, if I die, the last 10 minutes of my life will have been for effectively nothing. But it is a sound strategy in the context of a Battle Royale, so that those who get in the thick of it in the more intense fighting will fundamentally have the better loot early on. Apex Legends had that conception a bit earlier than Fortnite. Thing is, though, all it takes is a guy camping around a corner to shotgun that guy to death and then take the high-tier loot. So the camping meta still exists. And then we have Warzone, probably the most developed of the Battle Royale genre, that decided to preserve its spirit, for whatever reason, and yet to fix some of the errors. Warzone Solutions. We'll call this tidbit Warzone Solutions. What if the RNG has not been favoring you much recently? Everything you've gotten has been shit. Well, there's money lying around. You're guaranteed by law of mathematics to have found at least some of it. And you can go to a store location in the game and get a weapon that you customize with the attachments that you wanted, that's a weapon that you wanted. And sure, if a player happens to get a great gun by pure chance, great for them, that gives them an advantage because they didn't have to spend money on it. But it gives you the opportunity to have a safety net if the RNG fracks you over. You died. Gulag. You're not out completely. You go on a 1v1 battle with another player where you both have the same weapons, so it's all evened up and fair, except for server desync. I won't get into that. But you go to the Gulag and you have a chance to come back. Here's the problem with your chance to come back. You're going to come back with a starter pistol again. Your loot's gone because whoever killed you lifted it. The issue there is that wherever you go, there's going to be people that are more established. It's just like how being late on a drop in Fortnite or any other Battle Royale is a disaster. So what's the point of coming back because you don't have any of your shit? And you're fighting up against other people who do have shit. You're basically just screwed. Another, smart decision that Warzone made, give the player a starter pistol instead of starting them with some melee implement. That was a development even over Apex Legends, because in Apex Legends, you gotta punch people to death if you don't have a gun. So Warzone fixed a few things, but the core problems of Battle Royale persist. It is a genre that just does not work. And why was it so popular? Well, for a start, RNG. You don't know what you're going to get. Every match is unique, allegedly. The problem with the whole RNG thing is that it favors the unskilled because it turns it into a slot machine. Pull the lever, maybe you get a jackpot. But for players who've developed a degree of skill, that RNG basically makes it feel like it doesn't matter. It turns it into the old adage about fighting games, that a guy who can be playing the game for 10 years and achieve mastery of it can get taken out by a kid slapping all the buttons on the other side of the controller. It makes your skill feel insignificant. RNG is an issue, and the problem is it's not just in terms of items. Randomness is also a problem because you have such a large map and you have such an unpredictable distribution of players that maybe you go around the corner and there's nobody there. Or maybe you go around the corner and there's a guy there with a shotgun waiting to give you a 12-gauge facial. This is all bad. Classic deathmatch. You died, you're back. You died, you're back. Instantly. And then there's the time taken doing stuff in a Battle Royale that isn't fun. I have to go from A to B because the storm doesn't like where I am. I have to go around and loot because the last fight I had cleaned me out of ammunition. I don't have enough. I have to sit on the bus and wait for the drop. I mean, honestly, I think Soviet Jump Game got it right. Just pick where you want to go and teleport there instantly. Why does there have to be the spectacle of the bus? So here we are, in the closing movements of this battle. Of a sort. I mean, there's like still 6 minutes left. But for us, here's where all the action happened. At this point, we had very little ammo and almost no mats, so naturally we're packing on the mats purely out of necessity. And of course, because we're in such weakened condition, and as some would point out, probably because we're such scrubs, we default to stealth, which works out for us. We actually go aggressive when it's called for, and it works astonishingly well. Yeah, I even put my sniper skills to work without camping. We come out the end of this match almost looking like pros. Sorry for the lapses in commentary. I'm recording the audio for these 3 videos back to back, and it's a little wearing on my throat. I have to steal a drink here and there. So we figured we'd come here and hopefully find some loot. That'd be nice, right? We kinda did. I mean, I kind of think I've stated my piece in terms of Battle Royale. There's not a whole lot to say at this point, aside from to commentate what's happening, and nothing's happening for another minute or so. Thing is, if you want a good shooter game, get something that has classic deathmatch. For the love of God. To reiterate what Dr. Disrespect said, I feel so bad for these kids who this is what they think is the pinnacle of multiplayer gaming. Wow. The industry really screwed them. This, the pinnacle? Oh, sure, accessibility-wise, it's great. But fundamentally, any developer could monetize the way the Battle Royale does. I don't know why it's always down to the whole, you know, it has to be a Battle Royale if it's going to be free, because that's what's hip and that's what's popular and that's what everybody's doing. Innovators are the ones who will shape the marketplace and the industry of tomorrow, and the whole point of what they do is not to do it like everybody else. id Software didn't do it like everybody else. Valve didn't do it like everybody else. And yet, the sort of genre-defining games of their times came from these developers. I mean, Fortnite has deathmatch modes. Team Rumble is close to the ticket. But most of them are, like, creative maps and so forth. And you don't get anything out of those. It's only in Battle Royale. Which is another major problem. Like, make creative worth playing, Epic. Why do we get nothing from, like, especially, like, Epic curated maps? It's not like they're cheap or broken. You verify them yourself. And save the world. Like, when Battle Royale finally dies, that time can't come soon enough, Save the World will still be there. And you could even play it single player. This guy's about to have a bad day. Ah, yes, the final showdown. I'm probably not going to have time to drop my outro, so thank you all so much for watching. I hope you'll watch other videos that I've done and support the channel. But yeah, these guys are about to have a very bad day. Notice I immediately disappear behind terrain features. Clip him with a headshot. I literally told Z, go aggressive right now because his partner's down. Don't let him get the res. I botched that gas can throw. It was supposed to end up under them. That didn't quite go according to plan. Well, as always and ever, dear viewers, fare thee well. It's not my usual dance, but it'll do.